Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello and welcome to the Hobby Corner with your host, me, Kev. How you doing? It's Friday, it's the end of the week, and it's time to just chill out, calm down from the madness of the week, prepare yourself for the weekend, and just, feel the good vibes, so to speak. So I hope you're all well. Let me know in the chat how you're doing, what you're up to. Are you doing any hobby at the moment? Are you just chilling out? You got a busy weekend or not? Just throw it all down in the chat and let the good times roll. So tonight I'm going to be painting this dude. I want to try and finish him off tonight. It's largely the skin tones and then the base that I'll need to do. Skin tones I should be able to do in good time. I'm more worried about the base because I actually haven't built anything onto the base. The idea was going to be broken flagstones and stuff, but I just haven't had time to do it. I've been working on another project. So that's been a mad dash to do. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyways, let's have a look and see who's in the chat at the moment. So we do have Void Captain Bazooka. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. We also have Different Gear TV. How you doing? Hope you're well. Gary Knox, of course. Hope you are well as well. And I'm sure there's some other people in there. Not including Nightbot. But don't be afraid, don't be shy. Throw a hello. We're all friendly, we don't bite. Unless, you wish us to. You into that thing, then of course consent is, everything. It's going to be a long evening, by the way. So I got coffee. It's going to be a last minute edit a video thing. I've been filming this video in bits and pieces over the last 2 weeks, but because I've been helping the wife with her business, setting things up, the website, all the stock, getting the products right, because we've got to make some of it as well. It's been an absolute nightmare and a time sink, so I haven't had time to put any of it together. I've just been able to get time to film doing the stuff, but I still have to finish off the base of the main thing that I want to show off in my video. So I did promise that I would have it out tomorrow. I want to keep to that promise. So yeah, it's going to be an all-nighter. It's going to be exciting. So let's see what you're all saying in the chat. So we've got some good evenings. It's only Kev at his dedicated hobby space. That's technically not a corner, but we like the brand loyalty. I am in a corner. I'm in the corner of a room. So, but any box shaped thing has corners everywhere. So technically. Actually, yeah. I'm always in the corner. Kit bashing a new bolter. Ooh, okay. Oh, Normski's joined in. How are you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. Bit quiet. Your hearing's going, mate. That's why. I mean, I've got everything turned right up to max, so shouldn't be an issue for you. But I mean, if you want, I can go real close if you want. I can literally talk straight into your ears. I'll just let my dulcet tones serenade you. Is anyone else having any issues with the sound? Just let me know. Hey, where we got John from California. How you doing, buddy? Hope you had a good day of sun, sea, and surf. And we also got Essex Boys as well. How you doing? Hope you're all well. As always, let us know what you're doing in the chat. Let's get a hobby on, yeah? Let's really work out the stresses of the week and get that hobby on. Difficult TV says I might put a bit of tiny paint on some Blackstone Fortress models. Ooh. You know what? I haven't even put those models together. I got that box. I opened the box, looked at the sprues, went, that's really cool. I'd love to do that. Then my mate moved away up to Scotland, you know, so other side of the bloody country. And then it was like, oh, I've got no one to play with. Oh, well, put the box back. And then, you know, COVID and everything. So, yay. I didn't even bother buying any of the expansions. It just, there was some nice models, but I just couldn't justify it at all. Hey, Total Nova, how you doing? Hope you're well. Well, I know you're well because you've been messaging me all afternoon. Your Mega Boss is looking good though, so keep it up. Got Curse City, got Gorzag going. Wow. More Uruks. Excellent. I love it. So, what you... Alright, so I hope you're well. You could play it. Yeah, I know you can play it solo, but I'm already playing my way through Mortal Realms solo, you know. Plus, you got the whole issue of having time, really. I haven't got time because, you know, from Conquest didn't even have a breather before Mortal Realms started. There was an overlap of 2 months. So it was a case of, you know, okay, I was going to see until the end of Conquest and then do, you know, maybe put the stuff together and paint it. But I didn't. Mortal Realms happened. And it looks like Imperium's going to happen. So at least I got a box set to do in 20 years' time when they stop doing these damn magazines. Anyways, let's flip down to the downway view of what we're doing. So this is the aberrant Archregent that you get from the Flesh Eater Courts. You also get it in the first premium box with your Flesh Eaters, which is, you know, really cool with the Mortal Realms magazine. You know, you get Crypt Horrors. Oh no, sorry, Crypt Flayers. You get 3 of those, 10 ghouls, and then the aberrant, which is a nice little force just for a little skirmish, which is great. Yeah, I did enjoy painting this. The wings are fine. I just need to touch up the armor and really work on the skin. I've put the sort of base color down, but I really want to do it justice. So if you remember, I did uplighting, or as I call it, reverse cenithal highlight, or cenithal low light, really. Where instead of spraying from the top down with white, I sprayed from the top down in black with a white undercoat because I wanted to light up from the bottom. So hopefully that will show through the skin tones, and then when I start doing all the light tricks and stuff, it will look good. So hey, oh man, Kev, how you doing, buddy? We are Legion indeed. Kev's for life. Oh dear. You could play, so yeah. So we've got Mega Boss base, and I have 2 other Uruks to make and 4 to paint. Sweet. It's also solo loser. Yeah, that's true, unfortunately. OSL, yeah. It will be object sourced lighting once it's painted, but the primer was white and the black was done on the outside in the opposite direction of where the light source will be, rather than a usual cenithal highlight where you try and imitate natural sunlight on the mini by spraying it white. So there you go. That's the technical part of it. Thank you very much. I know I sound like an absolute legend of a painter, but I don't know shit. And that's one tick on the gong. Okay. Oh, Raven, how you doing, buddy? Hope you are well. Hope you're all good. Right, so let's get painting, because, you know, otherwise it's going to jibber jabber too much. We've got 10 minutes in. Let's slap on some tunes. I am feeling some metal today. Oh, hang on. Oh, there's oh, okay. No way. Let's just listen to this. There's a playlist now called Whoosh. So Void will appreciate this. Whoa, bloody hell. Speaking, you'll miss it. Is that it? It's just whooshes. Huh. All right. Maybe that's not gonna make an interesting playlist. Why am I on sound effects? I want to be on music. That was why. Aha, silly Billy. What are we going for? We need some metal. Ding 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 ding. You can't kill the metal. The metal will live on. Right, where is it? There we go. It took me a while to find it. I don't know why. So let's bang this out. Woo. Yeah. Right, that's enough of that. Fake it till you make it, exactly. That's what it's all about, man. Get Corpse on. His tracks are legit sick. Corpse. Is I don't know. Is his stuff on the Epidemic Sound? If it is, then could listen to it. Right, so let's get these skin tones done, shall we? Right, so we have stuff to do. I'm not sure which paints to really do. Alright, we don't need that one. I need those pale as pale can be flesh tones. Alright, rack off flesh. Pallid Witchbone, maybe? Yeah, Pallid Witchbone and... no, sorry, Pallid Witch Flesh is the colour. I don't know where they blooming are. Anyone seen the Sound of Metal movie? I'm not sure if I have, to be honest. I got paints everywhere. Ugh. There we are. There we are. Hey. No, not that one. Not those. None of those. Oh. I had a big dinner and I just had to double over just to reach the stuff, and oh my days, did that just not feel good. Flayed one flesh and then pallid witch flesh, isn't it? Yeah, so that one's the new one. Pallid witch flesh and then some white highlights. We'll do it. Okie dokie, we got it. Let's do it. Hey Judge Gooch, how you doing, buddy? Let us know what you're all up to. Probably carving out another masterpiece. Just on a whim. That work you did on the Pickles show on Wednesday, that was mental. Absolutely mental. It looks so good. Right. So I'm gonna paint this up. Nice thin layer of Rakar flesh just to give it a nice base. And then I'm gonna go back over it once I've got. Actually, you know what? I don't need flayed one flesh. I just need the pallid witch flesh, don't I? Once I've got pallid witch flesh down, then I will go back over with some Goella, just to get in that off-green corpsey sort of look. And then, once I've done that, do some final highlights and then start working on that light sourcing. Thinking up a master plan. Nice. Are those lyrics you're posting, Kev? So what has everyone been up to this week? It's been a fairly quiet week, hobby-wise, I think, hasn't it? In terms of, you know, what's happening, what's coming out. I did get an email from Element Games because they were waiting for a restock of Uriel Fentress, and but yeah, I'll be waiting for ages, and it was supposed to get sent out yesterday, but because Games Workshop are having issues with stock and everything, it didn't get sent out in time, so that was a bit of a shame because I was looking forward to that, because I also got some I'm trying out some new spray as well. There's this new company that Element Games are supplying, and I want to try them out and just see if they're any good, and sort of make a comparison between them and Games Workshop, And I also got some primer from Poundland as well, so can really, you know, see the variances in quality. Then yeah, that's looking a bit better actually. Oh, that's cool. There we go. Whoa. Right, so it just made my light move. Climbing mountains to get photos. Interesting. Yeah, you kept saying that you're a slow painter, but it pays dividends, you know, because you put a lot of time into it to get it done, you know, with all those thin glazes and everything, so none of the detail gets smudged out. And that's how you get the quality that you put out, you know. If you just want stuff painted, you know, speed is not a problem. But if you want it painted well, then, you know, taking your time is definitely the key. And that you've definitely got that virtue down. But if you hadn't, you wouldn't be a Golden Demon winner, for one thing. So if anyone ever comes up to you and says, dude, you paint so slow, you're such a noob, blah 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 blah, just go, yeah, but how many Golden Demons have you got? Yeah, you spent a mad amount, didn't you? Yeah, you kept messaging me asking for advice on stuff, which I don't mind. That's what I'm here for. Though if I charged you per message, I would have made a small mint, I'll tell you. Right, let's get these fingers done. I'm quite a slow painter as well, but the thing is, I'm sort of like, I would consider myself like good tabletop standard, you know. I'm slow to get to that, but it, you know, the stuff that comes out is quite good, you know. I can rush things out. I could dry brush the heck out of things to get them done if I really have to. But I get caught up in painting quite easily. It's one of the reasons why painting is not my favourite part, because I get sucked into it and then I end up sinking way too much time into it, and I get very little done in that respect. Whereas building, you know, I love building because there's no like extra to it. There's no like ability to push it further if you spend more time on it, unless you're doing conversions or kit bashing, right? You literally just build the thing and then it's done, and that's it. And that's why I prefer building over painting, because painting, it's just an endless thing. You can constantly go back to it, touch bits up, redo other bits, you know. There's always room for improvement, and it's just, yeah, that's my thought processes on it anyway. It's very hard for me to snap out of that and just say, yeah, I have to get this painted. Yeah, exactly. THC MWCS. Very catchy. Or you could just call it the Hobby Corner Hotline. You know. But then I might get the wrong kind of traffic then, won't I? every third call I'll have to say, no, it's not that kind of hobby. You'll need to search a bit harder on the internet for that. Whoosh, there we go. This is looking good now. I'm much happier with this. The coverage is much better. I'd put such a thin layer of what did I put on it? I can't even remember what I put on it, but it really didn't do it justice. And this is, yeah, I can build on this nicely, get some really gunky looking skin effects going on it. Yeah, exactly. A shed load of fix kits. The painted miniature is the end goal for if you actually play the miniatures you paint. That is also true. If you got a game to get ready for, then you give yourself a deadline straight away, don't you? It's why I'm pushing myself to get these flesh eaters done, because I'll be hitting issue 20 soon on my playthroughs, and of course that's when I get to do the I get to go into the first premium kit and play the playthrough scenario. Well, it's not even a playthrough scenario, it's an actual scenario with the flesh eater courts against the Stormcast, which I'm looking forward to. But I'm looking to do both them against the Stormcast and then against the Nighthaunt, you know, see how they stack up against their Grand Alliance counterparts. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yes. It's all coming together, Rodders. This time next year, we'll have one painted miniature. Okay, I'll go back onto this bit as well. Yeah. Okay, right. And now it's just the neck and face. And this is one reason why paint handles are handy, so you can really get round the mini, you know. That ability to be able to just turn it round is really helpful. Like so. I want to leave some of that darkness in the recesses as well. because of course this is on the top side of things. It just helps break up the details a bit. I'll just make sure I scoop out the excess paint there. There you go. There's a little bit of the back I missed out as well, so just whack that down. So GW are basically not going to be sort of counting stock and everything for a week. That's probably going to slow stuff down. Does anyone think that might have been one of the many reasons why Cursed City just got dropped all of a sudden? Yeah, that's right, we're beating that old horse again. There we go. Ah, you know what? That's the neatest I've ever been. In a group kind of sound too. Oof. Uruk versus Stormcast. Yeah. This time next year, that one painting miniature will be one more than Elston, as he did finish his. Ah, oh, that's so. Yes. Oosh. I mean, yeah. It's one thing. It's one thing not to drill your barrels. It's another thing to not even paint them. You know, that's despicable. His whole painting career is a lie. Hey Pickle, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. Right, coffee is dead. We're on to the big skull mug of water. Gotta keep hydrated. And I'm keeping it as far away from my brush cleaning pot. Let's get this cushion up. There we go. Alright, so let's jump right into it. Oh, that needs a real good shake. It's got to be to do with some kind of business process in Cursed City. Either the cost became... Yeah, that's what I suspected. On both parts, yeah. Nah, because everything's air freighted, so the Suez Canal didn't really disrupt anything. But yeah, no, pretty much all paper and card stock that is produced by Games Workshop is outsourced from China. And because of the issues with the sanctions with China, and then you have Brexit happening as well, and both the EU and the British government screwing up the negotiations and just basically rear-ending each other just to try and save face, really screwed stuff up. And then, yeah, it's just not a good time. And then, of course, throw in a global pandemic, which has been pushing costs up as well, because, of course, you need more, demand for this hobby hasn't dropped, but they needed to use less staff in the warehouses and the factories and that. Transport also became a lot more difficult, especially for freight, getting that around and everything. And so it's just been a knock-on effect, it because Games Workshop work years in advance. When it came to like Indomitus, they already had stuff in stock, and they already planned for more stuff in stock to be in stock. So when lockdown happened and everything, they still had the plans in place. They just had to shuffle things around to make it work still. But then sort of, you know, a few releases after that, that's when the actual effects of Brexit, COVID and everything just slammed everything at once. So it explains why Games Workshop threw out all the painting tutorials so quickly before the box was even released, and why they just deleted every single message about it. So well, I mean, all the designs and everything are made in the UK, and everything is packaged in the UK, but the card, mostly the card, but a lot of the books and paper stuff gets produced in China and then shipped over. So you can't fault a business for outsourcing where it's cheaper. Maybe one day they will revisit it. There's, you know, there's a good chance they might go back to it if they can find an affordable producer either in the EU or in the UK. Then that might sort things out, but yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath, and it's such a shame they didn't communicate that sooner. And a lot of people have been mad with them for not saying anything. To be honest, the way Games Workshop have been the way Games Workshop have been with the last few releases, where they've always had more stock, it's thrown scalpers out of the loop. And if you want to avoid scalpers getting something, then one of the things that you can't just come out with is, you know, oh yeah, this is going to be it, once it's gone sort of thing, because then you are going to have a lot more disgruntled customers. I mean, you're going to have disgruntled customers anyway. So keeping stum, and then, you know, waiting until, you know, it's sold, and then just going, yep, there's no more. It's easier for them to take that bullet than it is to have the backlash from, you know, basically getting the scalping market ready for it. That being said, I don't know how much effect it would have had on scalpers, to be honest, and I don't know. It's a very multi-layered issue, to be honest. There's a lot going on with it, so who knows. As it is not particularly shooty from the NPC baddies, you go on. They printed a massive amount of Cursed City. If they want to do more, they have to order the boards in the tens of thousands. So yeah, that's true. So is Warhammer originally based in UK or China? Drive-through games was the Warhammer's UK. What about the Cursed City book? Available again. I only just got Cursed City yesterday from my. So Brexit is a problem, and I was still awaiting stock. Since Jan, stock coming in is now coming from small boxes shipped domestic style. Jeez. Yeah, Brexit was a massive cock-up thing, but you know, it's happened. It is what it is. It's now down to our elected representatives to improve upon it, and it's also down to the EU to, you know, maybe eat some humble pie as well and try and sort out that issue, because it's screwed everyone over on both sides essentially. So both parties need to come together and need to sort it out instead of playing stupid power grab over it, which, you know, it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen like that. Jeez. And with things being as complicated as it is right now, can you imagine if Scotland's gone and then decided they wanted to do another independence referendum? Yeah, like, things aren't complicated enough, you know, like enough people aren't screwed over as it is. Just throw some petrol on the bonfire. But anyways, back to the hobby, the real hobby, which we all love, which is complaining about Games Workshop. So I'm looking forward to the models coming out, to be honest. There are a couple that I would like to get. I do like the Witch Hunter. The Witch Hunter's quite nice. But it's more the vampires. The vampires are absolutely gorgeous models. And I would absolutely love to get my hands on some of those. Just because it's you know, it's something different to paint. I haven't painted vampires ever, so it'd be nice to be a nice little painting challenge to myself to do that. Did anyone else have any favourites going on from the box? I have to admit, you know, those zombies, they took a moment to grow on me, right? Like, I was a bit confused with why they were shambling around with big old gravestones staked through them, and then when I caught up on the fluff of it, I was like, oh, actually that's pretty cool. But their poses are very much like from Thriller, you know. See you, Josh. Sorry, the politics only lasted for a second, don't worry. Politics is in everything in life, you know, you can't avoid it completely. You can buy the box of models later today. Oh, later this year for 80 quid. It's not bad. I was tempted to buy the, you know, like those people who were selling just the box with the bits and pieces but none of the models on eBay and that. I was tempted to do that, but like as soon as people realized that that's what, you know, as soon as the sellers realized that that's what people are doing, the prices went up. I was like, it's not worth it now. Right, gotta be careful of these muscles. I want to try and keep some definition there. There we go. So yeah, that option is no longer viable for me. It's way too much. Way too much for my price range. For my budget, when I got Mortal Realms every month to pay for. be interested in if they release the rules as a PDF, I can make my 3D board. That sounds awesome. Peg leg or boot? Peg leg every time. Yeah, you know, Pickle gets very cringy about anything remotely political. Like last night on the Chili Wargamers stream, he silenced me just for saying, like, if Elston gets too many dislikes on the video, then they'll end up appearing next to Ben Shapiro and was it Jordan Peterson? That's satire. That's not political, you know? And he silenced me for 5 minutes. It was harsh. I didn't even start talking politics. Anyways. I understand why he wants to keep it neutral ground. Nice, gone for the peg leg. That's what we like. Alright, so just like I said, we're just trying to avoid all those recesses with this paint, and then I'm gonna run another layer of this as a highlight, and then I'm gonna start doing the glazing slash shading, sort of blend those layers into each other and give a bit of definition at the same time. As you see, I'm trying to go with the muscle direction to sort of help with that definition. There we go. Which I will, you know, once I start doing the other highlights, I can then, you know, sort of pick out a bit more. There we go. Hey, Frosted Fist, how you doing? Alright, Gary Knox, you have a good night, man. Careful, Judge Gudge. He'll hear ya. It's got eyes and ears everywhere. Oh dear. There we go. You know what? I can't wait to go mad with Blood for the Blood God on this model. You know? Another thing, you know, I'm using a size 2 here. A size 2 Broken Toad Fugazi. I've been using it for lots of detail work lately. Because, you know, the point is actually really good on these Broken Toes. brushes, and having that extra body, or reservoir on the paintbrush, it does mean that you can keep the consistency of your paint sort of leveled for the longest, and for a good amount of time, and it saves having to keep going back to palette, wet down that the paint again, and then the consistency might not be the same. This dude don't like sunlight, I can tell you that. Tell you what though, this dude really does work out though. Right, it's got a little bit at the back and then the head and neck. What can you use for glaze? I need a glaze, but it's currently been I mean, a glaze is just essentially a very watered down paint. You can literally just water it down, or you can use whatchamacallit? Not that one. No, not that one. Yeah, medium. So you can get like a paint medium. Games Workshop sell them. They're like, a technical sort of thing. Contrast medium is a good one because it's a lot thicker. And yeah, you just add that instead of water, and what it does is it evenly distributes the pigments in the paint rather than hodgepodgely like water does. But if you're not too worried, I mean, water does almost the same job anyway. It's just, if you want a lot more consistency, then go for the medium. I personally am not too fussed about it, so I don't use the medium that often, if at all. But yeah, making a glaze is easy enough. Most of the time I use a size 2 brush. It's all about the quality of your point. Exactly. No, see, a shade is a darker tone that you specifically put in the recesses to, take away that light. Yeah, Lamium medium is the old, medium that they did for a little while. I don't think they do it anymore. But yeah, a shade is for the recesses. A glaze is to go over the more raised areas and the flatter areas to sort of either blend the colors in or to tint them slightly. So you give them, like for example, if you did some like grayscale, you went from like a medium grey and you worked it up to a nice white, but then you wanted like a slight hint of another color on it without painting over it and ruining it, you would mix in, say, like red. Yeah, if you wanted like a slight red tinge to it, you'd thin out some red with the medium, and then you'd apply a thin glaze over it, and that'll keep that nice blend of the grey going to white, but then you have that little tint of red in there, and you could just add to it and add to it each time. Once that glaze level has that layer of glaze has dried, you can add another layer to it, and you can build it up as strong as you like it or as thin as you like it. So I hope that helps. It's not. Make your own Lamia medium. I think you can. There's me chatting too much, so I let my brush dry. Alright, let's get in there. So like, for example, what I'm going to do is around all these bone protrusions, I'm going to do like a reddy purple glaze to give it like a sore, bruised sort of look to the skin. And it's a good thing to do for scars as well, because it makes the scars look, you know, like they're still fresh and not healed. So yeah, there's loads of applications for glazes, really. Right, I'm not going to do the inside of the ear. Maybe just a little bit there, just so there's that bit of transition, and I'm going to try and just do the raised areas here. There's a little snout. There we go. It's just a shame it's got that line that goes right through it from where the pieces come together. Sort of, I mean, it looks like it's got a split face, which, I mean, you can make it work. Depending on how you paint it, I suppose. There we go. Alright, I'm happy with that. Right. Hey G, how you doing, buddy? What's up, Midgie? Who's a Hyper Sapien? Thank you. Absolute babe as always. Thank you so much, mate. You have a good night, buddy. Alright. Look, this is something that's always interested me, fascinated me, is you get that little bit of paint pigment build up on the tip, and you know, you have to just pick it off. There we go. Right, now to do the koala green shade. Where are you at? Or do I do Athonian? I'll stick to koala. Where is my koala green shade? That's Hex Wraith. I don't want Hex Wraith. Ah. No, that's Bill Tan. We don't want Bill Tan. Where did it go? It's not there. Alright, I'll have to use a phony and then can't be digging around for koala. Haha. Alright. This has got sounds very much like Pantera. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Right, so this is Athonian Camo Shade over the Rakar Flesh and Pallid Witch Flesh highlight. So this will give a nice sort of off look to the skin. Then I'll do another highlight to emphasize the muscle structure. And then we can start working on some of the details. So I really do want to get this finished tonight, actually, or as close to finish as possible. But yeah, once the stream finishes, I have to rush off to quickly finish the last few bits of the current project I've got going on and get that video done for tomorrow. Shouldn't take me too long to edit. Maybe like 4 hours to edit through the night. It's not too bad. Go to work and then come home and crash. Here's another thing to always bear in mind when you do your shades and your glazes and stuff. Because gravity is a thing, always start from the top and work your way down. You know, if you work your way from the bottom up, you'll find a lot of it will start pulling further down the model as it starts falling down. So there you go, some sage wisdom from the corner. That's really coming out nicely now. And you know, you guys know me, I like to shade heavy, you know, that's my style. Ain't nobody got that style covered as well as I do. That and wet dry brushing. Don't give me none of this, it's over brushing nonsense, it's wet dry brushing. I'm trademarking that. Right. Get a little bit of that. Oh, it's long. There we go. Yeah, a bit heavier in the creases there. Like that. Cool. Seriously, shades are liquid talent. I love it. Can't do without it. Name me one painter who doesn't use any kind of shades whatsoever, and I'll tell you they're a liar. Absolute liar. Every painter uses shades. It's just one of those things. It's like using paintbrushes. Let's get these legs done. Right, and while this dries, I can then work on other areas of the model, so time won't be wasted. Yeah, it's nice seeing all that detail finally pop. So yeah, as I said before, this mini's got a lot of muscle definition on it. It's really nice. I honestly don't know how sculptors capture that so well. Sculptors, that's what I was looking for. Sculptors. Couldn't imagine being able to do that myself. The most I can sculpt is like maybe a bit of fur or weird bit of tech, you know, like little details just to add to a conversion or something. But from scratch, I don't think I could at all. So there we go. It's coming together nicely, that, isn't it? Looking hench. Ah, you're still working. So we forgive you. It's all good, brah. It's all good. Alright, so while that dries, I think we can do this skull here. So, is that still soft? Oh, it is still soft. Excellent. Poke it. Wiggle around in there. Nice. I wonder if anyone heard that. There we go. So let's just paint this skull. Those. That's it. That's cool. Oh yeah. at this, painting tiny details on the skull of the size 2. Shocking. Who do you know who would do that? Madness, eh? Right. Let those dry. Right, so what else can I work on? I mean, I kind of like how that's like a dark red lacquer sort of look on the shoulder shield. I don't really want to... I don't really want to highlight that too much. I want to keep it looking sort of a brassy gold, so I'm just going to highlight, because it's already been shaded quite heavily, I'm going to just give it a little highlight of the gold again. Wherever it is. Every time I organise my paints, I just mess them up straight away. Yeah, let's go back to the Retributor. So little edge highlights. Just a little scratch there. It's such a subtle difference, but it does make a difference. There we go. Man, I'm loving these brushes so much. You know a line of brushes is good when you don't even need to really drop down to the smaller stuff. You know? It's crazy. Is the Mortal Realms mag nearly finished now? I was on it, but I was getting Spanish versions, then the kiosk I was getting it from shut down in the first. That really is a shame. It's, I think, issue 61 or 62 is out at the moment, so it's coming close to a close. So still got a few months left on it. But of course, you know, I'm a month behind because of the cock up on release, and I've been spending all my hobby money, so I haven't really had the chance to call them up and say, hey, can you like bump me like ahead on my subscription by a month and then keep me up to date that way, because, you know. There we go. Hey David, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Hope you are well. Let us know what you're up to in the chat. You know what? I'm going to get rid of this cutting board because it gets too bright when I've got the light on. So hopefully this makes it a lot easier to see what I'm working on. So there we go. Got a nice look going on there. Got a lot of the details done. I'm just waiting for the shade to dry on the skin before I do final highlight and some glazing, and yeah, I'm just picking out little details here and there. I do need lead belcher. Who's doing my head in though? All the Spanish mags. Ah. Yeah, because in Spain it's distributed by a sister company rather than Hachette. So yeah, it's dedicated to, you know, being, you know, all written in the Spanish language and everything. That's the price you pay for being an expat, though. Right. I believe that's, yeah, that's that. Okay. So you can see the subtle difference there. You know, it is still a bit brighter under here than it is from this angle, but it's so subtle at the moment. So what we do now, pick up the bones. Okay, so I need my Screaming Skull. Salvat, that's it. Salvat. Nice. A 12-hour workday. Yikes. I'm glad you came to the hobby corner. You could paint a moustache on it. It is tempting actually, because there's just enough lip there that you could like give him a little tash, couldn't you? Right, so there we go. I'm just trying to avoid those recesses again, so I can keep the shade real heavy on those bones, so they really look like they're heavily stained. Let's just do a little highlight on the skulls now, because they would have tried enough with that Screaming Skull. I'm not being too neat, I'm just like hodgepodging it, because this skull is cracked, and also I'm going to be pouring some blood down it as well, because if you have a look, the top of it is hollowed out, so obviously it's used as like a skull chalice. So I mean, you can't get more flesh eater than that really, can you? So what I'm going to do is, I've already painted, I don't know if you can see it really in this light. Can you see that? I already painted some dark red in there into the top of the skull, and then what I'm going to do is with some blood for the blood god, just have a little bit coming out, but I'm going to work in some black into it just so it looks darker. That's the price you pay. Also nearly €300 a month to be self-employed over here. Oh dear. €300 a month to be self-employed. Youch. Is that like a flat out fee? I wouldn't say that was political. I think that's more, you know, finding out about how other countries do things. You know, that's expanding our horizons here. So yeah, over here in the UK, if you're self-employed, you don't pay anything to be self-employed. You just try and make money, and once you reach a minimum, an annual minimum, then you start paying your taxes and stuff on it. Do you have to pay the €300 a month because you're an expat who's self-employed, or is that just how taxes are done in Spain? I'm really interested by that, actually. Right, let's get some of that screaming skull on those bone protrusions. Yeah. Gonna let some of that sort of reddish cream show through those recesses, because it gives a nice sort of bloody stain to that. It's a flat out fee if you got work or not. Whoosh. Yikes. Hey Bazza, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Let us know what you're working on at the moment. Right, don't forget that with the Archregent, his straps that hold the armor on is actually held into him by a rod of bone sticking out his back. I mean, how sick is that, right? There you go, look, there's the stump of it. She's like, you know what, screw it. Let's just stick it on. Just line up the rings right. There we go, that'll do it. Oh. See, I had no idea about all of that, so I'm glad you told us. Feel a little bit smarter every day. Right, I believe that's all the bone bits, but I just want to double check. Just never be too sure. Yes, that's all the bone bits. Winning. All right. The shade is still setting on the skin, so I still don't want to touch that just yet. So what else can we move on to? The straps, of course, the straps. Where's my Beyblade Brown? Just a little bit of that would do. Water that down well. It always looks really stark when it's wet, but once it sets, it tones right down really nicely. Lovely. You just pass along there. Whoosh. There we go. This is what it's all about right here. Yeah. A little bit coming out there. And of course we've got that leather strap there and the leather strap just there. And you got the strap there that's holding the shoulder guard on. And then we've got this bit of rope which I'm actually gonna have to shade again. That's not an issue. I can pin wash that later. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, was I too close to the camera? Just finished Brutog Corpse Eater. Oh, hey Phil, how you doing, buddy? Nice. Oliver Griffiths, how you doing? Very smug tonight, having just picked up the last copy of Cursed City from your hobby shop. Oosh. Wow, mate. I mean, you could sell that for a hot penny right now, couldn't you? Well, I hope you you know, you are working the system as well as you can, mate. And I wish you all the luck with that. It does sound like a tough system to be in. Okay, so what we're gonna do. Oh dear. It must have been one of those shops that opened up late. That's the only explanation I can think that you would have been able to get a copy of Cursed City this late on. But yeah, it does make you a very lucky chappy, so congratulations. Right, now what am I doing now? Don't need to do the claws. See, the claws are going to have blood put on them. So's the face. You know what? Let's just do. I'll work from the top down. Get some layers in. Actually, I am now going to swap to a smaller brush, just for a bit more precision. I know. But to be fair, I did the majority of that mini with a size 2, so I think, you know, that's good enough, man. Alright, there we go. It's still moist. Moist. There we go. Hey, should I just leave it like that? So it looks like he's got a milk moustache. Yeah. You know what? Oh, maybe I should I paint the skull so it looks like it's full of milk and he's just taking a slurp and he's got a milk moustache. Flesh eater quartz. Now eat your flesh and wash it down with a nice cool glass of milk. Oh man. I I can't stop laughing every time I see that. Oh, whew. Oh man, oh, I wish you guys, you can see that, right? It's got a little milk mistake. Alright, no, I have to paint past it, otherwise I'm gonna be giggling like a child. There we go. Let's give him some bleached eyebrows as well. Could have a yeah. I was gonna say could put on the base. Got milk. Exactly. Spot on, me Foss. Oh. I mean, how confused would you be if a fearsome creature like that just like appeared out of nowhere, proper terrorized you, and was like, "Hand over your milk or you'll die." You're like, what? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. I think, yeah. I've moved past it now. There we go. Right. Oh. Alright, there we go. That face looks alright, doesn't it? Yeah. Milky, milky. BA void. Oh dear. So what's everyone's plans for this weekend? I want to know. As I mentioned before. Bloody camera in the way. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to be up till really late editing a video because I promised I'd have it done for tomorrow, and I haven't had any chance to get any editing done. I've got all the filming done, but none of the editing. So it set me right back. And of course I've got work in the morning as well, so that's going to be fun. But luckily it's an easygoing job. Very low pressure. What are you lot doing? Right, so what I'm going to do is along the pecs, I'm just going to do a couple of lines, and that will give it the appearance of like really ripped musculature, like that, and then just do little highlights here and there. Little belly button. Right. But yeah, he's looking suitably grubby as well, which is really good. That's what I like as well. Because of course, you know, bathing isn't really going to be a high on your list of things to do when you're going around culling the cattle. There we go. It's looking alright. Drakari Incubi and some Blightlord Terminators. You can't get two more distinctly different miniatures if you tried. One bulky, bloated, pus-ridden nonsense, and then the other one sleek, stylish, cool, flimsy. That's quite a comparison. Final highlights. Keep the feet as grubby as possible as well. Yeah, I'm still alive. It's not 10 o'clock yet. Variety is the spice of life. No truer words have been spoken. That's why I'm really enjoying painting this mini, because it's something different and new. As opposed to the bulkier armoured stuff that I normally do. It forces me out of my comfort zone to, you know, paint differently as well, because with big bulky armour you can get away with just like being a bit lazy in your painting, you know. This sort of stuff, because there's so much intricate detail, you kind of need to focus a bit more, you know, and mix it up as well. Try and learn different skills in order to accomplish that goal of having a nicely finished mini. And it's good. It's like a nice sort of refresher course for doing something different, you know. That's why I can't wait to get my hands on the pagan miniatures as well, the Sons of Odin, and the werewolves. That's going to be so much fun to paint. So I really can't wait for that. And Mr. Adam Dodge, he's been real busy catching up with the orders because Brexit sort of set him back a little bit for his European backers. So he wanted to make sure that they got all caught up before he started sending out more stuff. And yeah, I'm just waiting patiently, waiting for that message to say, hey, it's on the way. There we go. Now, I did notice after I started painting this already that this bit here is supposed to be webbed like this. It's sort of a wing bit. But you know what? I prefer it like that in skin tone rather than painting it as a wing, because it just looked a bit odd to me when I saw it on the Mini in the example. So I'm definitely going to keep it as just webbed skin. It's up to you if you when you paint this, you know. Don't know what time you finish. Ah. Nice. You're really cracking them out now, aren't you? Cracking them out? Cranking them out. It's good, man. You got good momentum there. Just make sure you do take regular breaks though, because the worst thing you want is to start getting burnout, and that is the biggest demotivator for painting stuff, and that's why a lot of people end up with, you know, large backlogs with not piles of shame. We don't call them piles of shame anymore, we call them piles of opportunity. So yeah, make sure you sort of don't work yourself too mad on that, otherwise you'll look at the other stuff and think, oh, I can't be arsed, and then that's it, it'll be game over for you. Looking forward to mine too. I have the 7 werewolves already. Ooh, nice. Nice. That's the way to do it, man. Seems like you're well clued up now. There we go. I think that's almost it for the skin. Okay. I believe that's done. Yeah! Right. Now to do those glazes before I start doing the old OSL. Yeah! Bam, 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 bam. Ah, Caribou Crimson. That's what I like. piles of shame are when you need a special cushion. Oh dear. Isn't it what all hobbyists of a certain age end up with, right? From sitting in uncomfortable chairs for too long. So I got some Caribou Crimson and I'm just watering it down. Just so it's a bit thinner because I don't want it to be too stark. And then what I'm going to do is, you see the flesh just around where the horns are? Just going to dab it in on there. Like that. And it gives a sort of sore, bruised skin look. Like that. It's a bit shiny because it's wet, but once it sets, it'll look banging. And I've got to do it around there as well, where the flesh is spiked through. There we go. Yeah, that's looking good. And then I just need a little bit around this bit here. From where the bone is protruding through his chest. There we go. Oh, you know, I haven't watched today's episode of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Right, I'm going for a bit of the thicker stuff now, and what I'm going to do is just a little bit round the rim here, just to stain the top of that skull goblet. So when I add the blood for the blood god on there, it will sort of have that little extra bit to it, really. A little bit coming out the eyes, why not? Lovely. Cool. And then I'm going to put a little bit around this bit of the mouth where the skin is stretched and open, and around the lips as well, just to give it that stained look. See, there we go. So it gives it sort of like a stained sore look, you know. Get it in between the lips and the teeth as well. There we go. And on the tongue. You know what, I'm going to put a little bit in on the inner ear. Cool. That looks awesome. Alright, so there we go. I might just add a little bit more up here. Right, any obvious scarring? There's a pockmark hole there. Let's fill that. There's another pockmark hole there. That's it, really. I don't think there's any actual scars on this dude. Yeah, alright. Yeah, decent chair definitely needed for batch painting. That's a lot. That's a lot of cushions. Ah. I believe it's the penultimate one tonight, and then next week will be the final one, I think. Oh. Always good to have a good stretch. Right. Now that's that done. So let's work. I've got all the details done, haven't I? Yeah, okay, so all the details are done. Cool. So now what I need to do is paint this mace. I still got to fix the base up as well, actually. So I might as well do the base while I'm at. Got any card knocking about? I mean, like plastic card or something. I've got plastic card in the loft. Okay. Have I got any of that at Grayling Earth? I don't think I do. No, I've just got Sterling Mud. Ah, shoot. Well, you know what? I can still do it. Is it 6 or 7? If it's 6, then tonight's the finale, yeah. Ooh, okay. Alright. So, okay, imagine this is all painted, right? And I've got a base sorted out. There's going to be light leaking out from the bottom, okay? So the idea is... is it Tesseract Glow or... Make sure. No, I was going in with Tesseract Glow. Get a real good shake. Okay. I know I'm mad for going for a Tesseract Glow, but... Right, I'm just going to water it down a little bit. It's definitely going to need it, because I don't want it too strong. And it is really strong. See, really watering it down, but because it's so thick. There we go. Right. So the light's coming straight up, so it would hit all these areas here. Ooh, okay. Right into the recesses. So I believe the idea is, as long as it's where the light's coming from, you just blaze a little bit of that on, and then you kind of work out the light's still going to come up from there, so the thighs would also get a bit of light. That's facing slightly that way, So even with the lights like that, you'd only get a little bit at the base there. Nowhere else. So it's all about just imagining where the light is. And of course light travels at straight lines, but also bounces off areas and it goes in all directions. So if you've got multiple sources of light at the base, and it's all coming up, everything now will be facing it, will be hit by that light. So all of this will definitely be hit. Under there as well. And this is hopefully where the uplighting would have helped with it. And of course then the cloth would get some of that light as well. And the light would be coming up here, so the blade would get a little bit of that light. Just on that half, because that's the half that's facing downwards. Light come up here. So the bottom of the skull would get it as well. Oops. So I'm going to paint the underneath parts of the details from the skull. So under there gets it as well. Oh, you sent a picture of the production line. I'll have a nosy at that in a bit. So yeah, just like that. So yeah, that right on there. And you could just build it up, you know. Some areas will get more of the light than others. So have that variety of where the light hits. 100%. And of course the closer to the source of light you'll be, the stronger the amount of light that's caught by your skin would be. So right, because he's leaning over slightly, it does mean that the under abs would maybe get a bit of it, and bottom of those bones, so just drop a bit on there. That part of the wing 100% would get it. There we go. Oh, I wonder if you can still see that. There we go. Get the under, get the open palm of the hand. There we go. Now, light comes up through the legs as well, so I'll have to get underneath there. Like that. Oh, it sounds like the youngest has woken up. Right. And a little bit on the wing there as well. Wrong there, like that. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Underneath of the pecs. Right there would get it. And I think just under the ear and the jaw slightly. Just the back of the jaw there. Would also get a bit of that glow. That's looking alright, that actually. I don't know if it comes across that well on camera, but yeah, I'm happy with how that's coming out actually. Now I'll just get the palm of that hand there. Right, just the light coming up, just tint a little bit there and under there. I'll tell you what, this is a real fun little project that I've done. I guess a little bit under there as well. The light coming up like that. Everything is a little bit of a tint. So underneath there a little bit. Even the spines on the back will get a little bit of that glow going on there. This whole bit of the back there actually as well. Come to think of it. It's about there, I'd say. Maybe get some reflection off the chains as well. A little bit under there. Haha! Ho ho ho! I think I might have cracked this technique in one go. And yeah, I think that should really do it. I don't think, from what I can see, any other surfaces would get much, if any, of the light coming from the base. A bit more in there. Let's get a bit more in there. Yeah. Pleased with that. I'll just have to stain a bit heavier on the cloth because of course it doesn't show up too brightly. Yeah. think that's alright for a first attempt. You have a good evening, mate. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a good weekend as well. And I'll see you around, mate. There we go. Right, I think that's it. And of course, you know, I'm going to have all of this lit up. Some of this and some of that. But I need to paint the masonry first. And before I do that, I need to put some stuff down on the base. But I am actually quite chuffed with that. Oh, actually. Because the light's coming up through there. You could see a little bit of it just on the top, that hole there. There's the faint little tint there and the faint little tint. I think I'm overthinking this now. There we go. So it's ready for base, blood for the blood god, and yeah, I think that'll do it. Thank you so much, Judge Gudge. That means the world to me. A man of your caliber saying that. So, no pressure, but you know, anything you do say can and will be used against you in the court of discord. Right, so just clean this brush. Oh, I forgot to clean the soap as well. I always have a separate pot of water as well for cleaning brushes. If there's anything like particularly harsh, like technical paints, then I make sure I've got that extra pot of water just to clean them nicely. Right, so that is it. I'm going to leave it there. As I said, I just got paint the base and then put blood for the blood god. So that'll be like a little bit dribbling around this gob. I'll be putting blood for the blood god dripping from the claws and a little bit leaking out of the skull as well. And then yeah, put glow all over the place once I got the base going. But like I said, I want to do like slabs, so I'll use plastic art to make the slabs, maybe even one or two of the spare gravestones that I got left over from the mausoleum set. Might lie them down, look like they've been knocked over or whatever, and have that glow coming out from between it. So you kind of get, you know, this sort of effect, but I want it sort of so you see this kind of effect, you know, with the Tesseract glow that I did. Just, you know, it's coming out, right? But then you got your sort of source lighting, so around the doorway, but not on the outside because the light wouldn't reach the outside. And then at the back of the bars as well. So once you put it on there, yeah, you know, you can see the lights sort of coming through, and there's like beams of the light from between the bars, and the same on the other side. And of course, look, there's even the glow there from where it's going through that doorway. So that's the kind of sort of effect I'm going for with this model here, and I think it will really suit it. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I will try and take pictures and have them posted up sometime this weekend. Like I said, it's going to be a long night for me to get that video done. So yeah, but you know, it's good to have a deadline. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me and for watching me paint this mini. And I'm so glad that I've got this far with it, because seeing it looking like this really has sort of, you know, motivated me to want to finish it off. Anyways, for your patience, as a sneak peek, this is the last thing I have to paint before I can like fully write off the video as completely ready to go, once edited, that is. But that's just a little sneak peek of what's going to be in my video. Fingers crossed tomorrow. So that was a bit of fun. So hashtag secrets. Oh. Anyways, as always, if you enjoyed the content, if you enjoyed the show and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, then please do, and throw in a like as well. That's always fun to do, and it helps with recognition. Leave a comment as well if you're watching this after the live stream, and let me know what you think, what you do differently, what you do better, or if you need any help with tips or whatever. Don't be afraid to send me a message. You can also ask about on the Chilling Wargamers Facebook page, because it's full of amazing people, of which quite a few people in the chat at the moment are members of. The Chilling Wargamers network is a really nice place to be, and they got a fantastic Discord too, so go check that out. As always, all my social media links are in the description as well, and if you want to support the channel, there are many ways of doing it, through donations, merch, whatever, but the best way is to hit that link to Element Games, and get your hobbies through that, and it don't cost you anything extra. Actually, you make good savings, and if you put in that code that I've put next to the link, you get yourself some bonus loyalty points, which you can get yourself some extra paints and stuff with. And of course, if you're following Mortal Realms, or if you're just finishing up on the odd issues of Conquest or whatever, then hit that link to Forbidden Planet as well, and again, I get a little kickback, and you can order yourself or pre-order yourself some issues if that's your preferred way to do it. So yeah, I've had fun. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget, Mondays 8:30, I'm going to be here again live with another Mortal Realms playthrough, so I can't wait to see you then. And yeah, I'm out. Peace.